Hello everyone. Welcome to the interview.
Hey.
Take a seat.
Hi.
Before we even start the interview, let me take a minute and introduce you to the newest edition of Oddjob Airways services, the Oddjob Airways credit card. You may ask, what's the special thing about it? For every $100 you spend on Oddjob Airways services, you get 10 free bonus air miles with Oddjob Airways. Isn't that great? You can get it just after the interview.
Well, what just happened here? Even though the topic, Oddjob Airways in this case, should be mentioned and characterized, it is not the moderator's task to sing its praises. Such behavior could easily impact the participants' answers and the focus group results.
Alright, all that out of the way, let's move on.
Excuse me, is that a camera over there? Are we just being recorded?
What an unpleasant and specifically avoidable situation. Before organizing an interview, it is important to inform all participants of any recording and footage being made. Your first priority should be to safeguard the participants' privacy.
So, let's get to know each other. Could you please introduce yourselves? Let's start with you.
Hi, my name is Jack Brand. I'm 24 years old.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Winterbottom. I'm 40 years old and I'm originally from Erfurt.
Okay.
Right now, since 11 years, I'm living in Magdeburg because I studied at the local university. And during my studies, I spent a year in Latin America and I worked in social projects in Argentina, in Chile, in Peru, in Bolivia, in Venezuela, and also in Cuba. I worked with disadvantaged children and adults, and it was really interesting work, and I was really passionate about it. But after 1 year, unfortunately, I had to return to Germany, and I got a job at the Dom Gymnasium in Magdeburg, where I work until now as a German, Spanish, and English teacher. I also have a work group on each Wednesday in the afternoon, and I'm teaching the students the main features of different languages, because I think it's very important that the students improve their language skills, because each time you learn a new language, a whole new world opens up to you. There are possibilities, there are opportunities, and that's why it's so important, because language, that's our main communication tool. I speak German and I speak English and also Spanish, but also Italian and French and Norwegian. And right now I'm studying Japanese. It's so different. It's a different culture. It's so interesting.
What went wrong in this specific situation? First of all, it is the moderator's job to lead the entire interviewing process. In a situation like this, he needs to politely interrupt and give everyone a chance to answer their personal answers. The rule of thumb should be about 2 minutes per answer. Remind them beforehand if necessary.
Hello, I'm Andy Ahlers and I'm from Berlin.
So, can you tell me whether you like the food? Was it appealing? Did you like the soft drinks on the flight? Was the ventilation systems worked well? And even the flight attendants, were they friendly to you?
What?
Excuse me, what was the first question?
Can you guess what the problem is here? Yes. First of all, the moderator's question was A, way too long, and B, covered too many aspects. It is okay to ask questions that cover 2 aspects, like, was the service personnel friendly and competent? However, avoid using questions that cover more than 2 aspects.
Now I really like to know how you guys become aware of Oddjob Airways.
Easy. I was just looking for a cheap airline, I guess.
Alright.
Excuse me, Jack, for interrupting you, but you speak so indistinctly that it's really hard listening to you.
So you should better listen carefully or get yourself a hearing aid.
Alright.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Sorry, Grandma. Do you think you're better than me or what?
Oh.
In this situation, the worst the moderator can do is to do nothing. The situation escalated pretty quickly, so it is important for the moderator to interrupt and to de-escalate the situation.
So, were you guys satisfied with your flying experience with Oddjob Airways?
Yes.
No.
we have to return to the style of question. The moderator obviously forgot another important rule of focus group discussions. Never ask simple yes or no questions. They simply offer no insight to the topic.
Mrs. Winterbottom, at 40 years old, you're by far the oldest member of this panel. Nevertheless, you choose to fly with Oddjob Airways. Why?
And here, the moderator of a focus group needs to follow another rule. Never shame a participant. The moderator violated the participant's privacy and put her in a difficult spot.
As you all know, you got invited to this interview because Oddjob Airways values the opinion of their frequent customers.
I'm sorry, but I've just flown once in my life, and that was last month when I had my dream trip to Africa.
Well, this situation shows not one, but two violations of focus group rules. First, never try to influence a participant by asking lead questions. An example, I heard you fly quite often. Second, the person who organized this focus group interview made a mistake by inviting a participant who has only flown once in his life. This makes very little sense.
Oh wow, I would have been so scared if suddenly this huge elephant came towards me. Like, I really couldn't have stayed that cool.
Yeah, me neither. But otherwise, a trip to Africa sounds worth every cent. And all these languages, it must be amazing.
Yeah.
And where were you staying?
I stayed at a great resort for 4 weeks and had 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms in my apartment.
Just for you? All that space just for you?
Yeah.
Aren't you bragging?
At this point, it is the moderator's job to take control of the interview again. Do you know how he can do this? He can kindly ask the participants to calm down.
On behalf of Oddjob Airways, I would like to thank you guys for your time. The valuable feedback you have given us today will improve the service for the future customers of the airline. Thank you guys so much and have a safe trip back home.
To summarize this meeting, the focus group you have just witnessed offered very little value. It is a moderator's job to always control and lead the conversation. There is another reason why this focus group did not work as well as it could have. Did you notice? Right. The number of participants, in this case 3, is not optimal for a focus group. In regular, a focus group has between 6 and 10 participants at a time.